Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of I've Got Questions, a Premodern podcast. And today we are continuing our retrospective on PSS season number 5. And we are joined by Alvaro Galindo, one of my competitors, or one of the other competitors in the PSS. Alvaro, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Just got back from running a soccer practice, so now it's time to talk about some pre-modern. So it's a good day for me. It's a good day.
I agree.
Absolutely. So, um, a little bit of history for me and Alvaro. I don't know how many different events and top eights and monthlies we have decided to play with each other in.
Yeah.
Um, I'm pretty sure you said something to the effect of "not again" or something like that when we kind of found out this was happening. But that kind of leads us into the what was your reaction for being selected for the PSS? What were your thoughts when kind of either when Mike or Flint reached out to you?
Yeah, well, I was really surprised. I thought that when they contacted me in the beginning, it was something bad because it was like, hey, yeah, we need to go with you. I was like, okay. And then Flynn told me about it, and I was really surprised in the beginning and really honored to be part of that because it feels like the not the end, but part of a really good year I had in Primor, not in terms of
Hmm.
results but more about like learning new things, testing new stuff,
Hmm.
trying new brews. So it was it was again an honor, and it was really not something for my ego, but I will say it
Hmm.
was more like a recognition of the work I put in the format during the last year. So I
Hmm.
feel really honored and really good about that.
That's awesome, and it was well deserved. I mean, I know I had probably the luckiest streak I'll ever have in my life last year. It's not going to happen again. But you did as well. You were pretty neck and neck with me almost at the same time. Every top eight I did, you seemed to be there, flings and all that. So it was well deserved, and it was awesome to see you there. So once you got contacted, where did you? Before we heard about the rules, right? Before we heard about how the system was going to be, what were your initial thoughts on what decks am I going to bring?
Yeah, it was pretty simple. I wanted to again honor the people I work in the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
First, of course, the dream team, Sven and Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel like Mono Blue Stifle Note is one of my signature decks in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of this work we did for the deck and all the success we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
So and that they made me win the first monthly I ever won, and the only one so far, and also the big event here in Chile in Santiago. I think in December from last year. So it was like natural for me to choose that one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wanted to like showcase another pet deck I have. It's this mono red Ponza. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
show it to the audience. I mean, Alan Rice helped me with the first list. He was playing it before me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I used to play mono red pawns as many of us in like 20 years ago. Uh, so it was natural for me to play that. And he started with the list. He basically, I don't know, I don't know if you know that, but we had a tournament on Thursday. It was the Thursday
Oh,
throwdown. It
okay.
was organized by no, by Aaron
Yep.
Dix, and basically that was the best tournament to test new things like rules and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could, of course, you can bring elves or goblins or whatever, but the real prize was to bring with something really new to the
Mm-hmm.
tournament. So we just brought like different things. I was playing, I don't know, Mono Blues Stumpy
Mm-hmm.
against Sponsa deck from Adam Rice. He, of course, he beat my ass, uh, and I love that. So basically, I took that list, and we were talking for like months around it.
Mm-hmm.
We're like building the new version, new version, and we were like improving it. In the end,
Mm-hmm.
I think we ended up with a really strong list. As I mentioned in the PSS, it was basically a buy for with that deck against goblins. I made some bad changes in the before the tournament, and they really didn't pay off, and I
Mm.
died to goblins. But anyway, so but it was really solid. So I wanted to showcase that because it's not common. I didn't want
Mhm.
to. I mean, I could have chosen like tier one or tier two decks just to
Mhm.
compete and try to win it.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to do that because I wanted to show new, not new, but different decks. I wanted to uh,
Mhm.
have that opportunity to show that you can play Premodern with different cards. You don't need to just play these specific cards just to compete. I mean, that's fine if you want to do that. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I wanted to show something different. And that brings me to the blue red Tinker deck. I love that deck. I love playing with artifacts.
Mhm.
And it has a combo part, so it's really interesting. I will say, and it's a deck that it is not really. I mean, it's common, but it's not
Mhm.
that common as, of course, elves, goblins,
Right.
stifle and that kind of stuff. So, I wanted to show, of course, these my signature decks and also two different decks that I'm really confident with them. So that
I
was
love it.
my selection.
Yeah. No, I saw those lists and I was like, yeah, that's probably from what I know of Alvaro. This seems like the most Alvaro thing I could have seen because I know obviously your history with shrimp. I think I played against you at one point on the red list in a monthly.
Yes,
The
yes,
only, yeah, I think you
you were
beat me.
Anastasis. Yeah, you were
Uh,
Anastasis.
yep, yep. And then I think what I was hoping I was going to see maybe out of you was you had this it wasn't a blue white birds deck. It was your blue white aggro
Eh,
list.
Yeah, I wanted to play that. That was my fourth deck.
Oh.
It has too many names. Basically, it started like What Weenie, then Mono White with Range, then
Mm-hmm.
we I mean I keep changing names, but basically I named it like Blue White Humans or something like that because it was only
Mm-hmm.
him. So it was basically. Uh, Pro red creatures like Silver Knight
Mm-hmm.
plus this 2/1 that has threshold. I forgot the name anyway.
Is it you didn't play like Saltari Priest, didn't it? Did you?
No, I
The
didn't. I
shadow
want.
ones? Oh,
Yeah, I just wanted to stop Mogul Lucky. So just play
gotcha,
that
gotcha.
and Mystic Crusader. Yeah.
There
So
it is. There it is.
that one plus Mother of Runes, something else, and
Mm-hmm.
then I added Meddler Mage against combo. Everything was supported by land tax, Mox Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
and Cataclysm. It was beautiful. It was. I mean, I wouldn't want to start a band conversation, but I think that the format is worse without land tax because it
Mm-hmm.
basically banned my deck, which I loved.
Mm.
Of course, I understand where the perfect complaints come, but I feel like I don't know that was really good for,
Mm-hmm.
and it was different. It attacks for a different
Mm-hmm.
angle. So that was my fourth choice. I think,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, in hindsight, I should have chosen, of course, to play Mono Blue Stifle Note, of course. Then instead of Blue Red Tinker, I should have played Mold Brown, like colorless,
Okay.
the
Okay.
one I've been playing lately. And I should have played this blue white, basically white humans deck instead
Okay.
of Ponza, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the decks definitely screamed out your style. I loved seeing them, and I was excited to see it. But you had mentioned kind of a land tax the ban, which kind of, as we know, got dropped on all of us after we submitted decks. So,
Yes.
what were your thoughts on the kind of that discussion? Because the chances of that happening again during a PSS are probably pretty small, something of that nature. But
Yeah.
did you enjoy that we kind of kept it as a last hurrah with
Yeah.
that? Would you have liked to see it be changed? I mean, what are your general thoughts on how that went down?
No, I think it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I think that the meta will adapt to perfect. We were actually seeing more blue white land steals decks and tide
Mm-hmm.
too, like eating perfect. They just play tide and that's it. So not
Mm-hmm.
much against that. So I think that personally the change shouldn't happen that
Mm-hmm.
earlier. But in our tournament, I feel like yeah, of course. Rick was playing that, and also Lani
Mm-hmm.
was playing Lantex, and they were in finals. So yeah, it had an impact, of course.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I think it was good. It would have been interesting to try and have to brew things on the fly, but it was definitely way too close. So kind of that brings us then to our next point is we had this happen. Okay, we got that straightened away. But then the other big part of kind of the preseason was the setting up of our system. In previous years, there had been a ban system. Everyone at this point through things probably understands what that is, but a very basic thing is each week your opponent could ban one of your decks. You could ban one of theirs, and you chose from the other two. This year, it was a rotation system, so you had to play all three decks in whatever order you wanted to, and then you could recycle it and restart it. So essentially, we had like mini seasons. We had two mini season or three mini seasons in the season that we're rotating through. Now, I've made mention of this, and I want your perspective is because I never played in a PSS beyond this one. I didn't mind it at all because I had nothing to compare it to. I didn't have any experience of, oh, I wish I could do this. And I could see the argument for their side. What were your feelings on hearing that the system itself was different than the usual?
I mean, as you said, I didn't have anything to compare besides the previous PSS I watched, like one or two, I don't know. But I feel like I mean, we had to play in that third match, and you were a fluctuator, and I was mono blue stifle. I was basically a buy. I mean, the chances to win for you were like 1% or less. I don't know.
Hey, we
Uh,
kept it a short night.
yeah, unless I don't know, I was playing like had a hard stroke or something like that, and then die, and you win. Yeah, I mean, there you didn't
Yeah,
have any way of winning that.
not really, no.
So that feels bad, and I feel like I personally prefer to don't have that random chance to get these free wins,
Mm-hmm,
um, because it happened to me in the first game where when I was on Ponza and Mike was on this rock with natural order.
mm-hmm,
Um, if I had a chance to ban something, of course I would have banned that and I would play Ponza. So even when you get the three choices, you still get
mm-hmm,
some random possibilities around it. So I
mm-hmm,
don't know. In my last match, my win and in when I was
mm-hmm,
playing against Jeff White, I think again in hindsight I should have chosen Ponza against his elves, goblins, and I think replenish maybe. I don't know.
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so I should have chosen Ponza, but I chose Monoblue Stifle not because I thought that he was going to play goblins. So in the end,
Mm-hmm,
like a random chance that you don't guess what he's going to play, and at the same time
mm-hmm.
for unicorn it's the same. So yeah, it's when you band, you basically have 50-50 chances, right? So
Right, right.
it's not that random that where you get a third option, like
Mm-hmm,
uh,
exactly.
33% option. So
Mm-hmm,
yeah, I feel like I would prefer to use the regular band system, but I like it
mm-hmm.
anyway. But yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's a common feeling that everyone I've talked to has had is like making that kind of that week three. As you mentioned, we played each other week three. I'm assuming from the beginning, like, there's no way I'm not. If it wasn't from the beginning, it was after week one. There's like, okay, I'm not playing Dreadnought week two because, like, I just keep this for Fluctuator. I would
Mhm.
assume that was kind of your thought process. Maybe you work backwards from week three to week one, which seems to be a common way people did it. It's definitely what I was doing. But there is a point to what I think Mike and Flint were doing, and I'm hoping I have a cast coming up with them. I hope to kind of get their perspective is, you know, this is a showcase, right? And we kind of want to see all the decks. Like, it would have been a shame if we did not get to see your Ponza deck or
Yes.
your, the Tinker deck. It would have been a shame not to see Fluctuator. I mean, we kind of saw it the last week I played because the first two didn't count. But like, there are unique decks. Or imagine we didn't get to see the Natural Order deck from
Oh,
Matt
Mike.
Arnold
Yeah.
or Mike Arnold. Like, I think there's validity to what was being done.
Yes. Yes.
It's I just wonder what the question is like, how do we keep being able to see the decks, all of them? We want to see them at least once be played, but keep some sort of spice in that last week or along the way, so there's not like some situations we ended up with this year. So that's very interesting. I think everyone has kind of said that same general thought, and it's going to be interesting to see season 6 how they address it, because I think both Mike and Flint are amazingly smart TOs with this, and they're going to figure out a plan.
Yeah.
So kind of moving into the event, we got our pairings. Very briefly, so week 1 you were up against looks like you're against Mike
Okay.
Arnold. Yep.
Yeah.
He picked Dark Secret, and you were on the Panza deck. What do you remember about that matchup? Because I remember watching that matchup being pretty interesting.
Yes. Yes. I think that I won the first game, and
Mm-hmm.
then those two twice. So yeah, when my expectation was that he will either be playing the solution or this that guy Ale,
Mm-hmm.
but of course he wasn't. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when you have three choices, you choose one, and then the probabilities that you get something that you don't want are higher in some ways.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, he chose this deck, and basically I had to prevent him to reach 4 mana with one creature in play,
Mm-hmm.
because that means that he will be able to put a Burden Force in play, and that I cannot do again
Mm-hmm.
nothing against that with my deck. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
But
I mean that's how it went.
exactly. And then week 2, you went up against Lanny. He was on Replenish. You were on Welder Stacks. And this one I remember just by that. I think was it the second game where
Yeah,
you went for the combo, and I think there was some confusion for what was going on when people were watching. And Lanny did. I remember having the thought that, why is Lanny making you go through the motions? Because honest to God, I had never seen Welder fail.
yeah. Uh,
And I was just like, why is he making him do this? It seemed unnecessary. But I mean, in hindsight, he is correct to do that. It just caught me off guard, and it caught a lot of us off guard. What were you thinking during kind of that sequence?
Yeah, I mean, for context, I when I was playing that match, I was having a lot of noise from my kids. So
Okay.
basically, I was trying to focus during the match,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't like 100% focus.
Yep.
And that particular game went really fast, and also I mulliganed to remember to five. So it was like
Okay.
I was really feeling well, like really into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw the game again, I
Mm-hmm.
had two ways of like keeping playing that. One way was
Mm-hmm.
basically try to keep uh, pushing him with the resource disruption, and
Mm-hmm.
then just put something like Karn or Masticore into play, and that try to attack. I was something like in 2 life or 4 life, and basically he just needed to attack once with his angel, and that's it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is that if I didn't go to the combo as
Mm-hmm.
soon as possible, that means that I won't be able to get as many counters for the border. So
Okay.
the longer the games goes, from my side, waiting for an answer, that means that I will probably like won't be able to combo like it happened in the end.
Okay.
So my mistake was basically to when I did the first tinker, and also there is another thing that was like really putting me away from the game.
Mhm.
I don't know how many cards I drew in that game, but I didn't get a single land with color.
Okay.
So I had to use Welder to recycle the chromatic spheres. Like, it was really ridiculous.
Mm.
The game was really really long, and it didn't have any like source to be able to play that. I mean, a layer or I don't know, Shivan Brief or whatever.
Mhm.
I didn't. I couldn't think, and I had two tinkers for like forever in my hand. I couldn't use
Mhm.
them, and in the end, I have this Welder. I had to recycle them. So I was really like. Uh, Not salty, but I was really frustrated. But because of like this early mulligan, like everything that was going on in the game, and all the distraction from outside. So when I combo, I should have used the first thing to count my cards in the library to see if I was able to combo. If not, I
Mhm.
should have like I don't know, put a card there and attack and win from there. Uh,
Mhm.
Thing is that if I did that, I will basically be able to. I mean, I would have gone into a sort of closures. If he did that against my car, that's basically game because I didn't have any other
Mhm.
win con. That's the thing with the blue red version. You have
Mhm.
just too few win cons. You have in my
Mhm.
build you have Pyrexian processor, Karn, the combo, and that's it.
Mhm.
So I didn't
Yeah.
even play Black Mice. So
Mm.
uh, I needed to win earlier, and he just needed to draw one, I don't know, a Franklin Search or a Soulland or something
Mhm.
like that. And then he just untap in his upkeep and then tap, I don't know, three or four things and then attack with the angel. And that's it. So I it didn't look like that, but I was really like, I was one draw from his side to just lose. If he draws one frantic search and untap, that's it. I couldn't do anything. So I
Mhm.
needed to win as soon as possible. And I was so focused on this combo part that I ended
Mhm.
up just going forward to it. And I don't know, I think I missed that from, I don't know, four cards or something like that.
Mm. Okay.
So
Yeah. No, and definitely get that. Because later on in the event, I was starting to. I would have moments where it's like things weren't going my way, and I've used the phrase. I lost some of my fun later on. I'm not sure because I don't think that happened to you because you're always very you always seem very composed to me whenever we've played win, lose, draw, whatever. So that's something I've always admired about you. It's something I was not able to hold on to fully. So we had two tough losses early. We head into week three, which bye, happy
yes,
days. We're not going to talk about that match because for
I
those
mean,
who are not familiar, Fluctuator versus Dreadnought is not a match. It does not count. Um, and I don't know. Would you like to add any context to that, or have I said it all?
no, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we were doing our part to get the train back on track. We head into week four, in which you were up against Jared Doucette. You were on the Ponza. He was on the Goblins. Now, you had mentioned that this is a matchup you had not lost,
Yes. Yeah.
or and then you had mentioned you had made some changes you weren't happy with.
Uh,
I'm assuming this is one of those matches where those changes, for lack of a better word, came and bit you in the butt.
yes. Yes.
What were those changes, and what would you have done differently?
Well, I put two Char Phoenixes on the main and change and remove one Pyrokinesis and what else? I think, yeah. Basically, what I did was that to include the Char Phoenix, which is really good against, I don't know, elves, but
Mm-hmm.
against Goblin, it seems to be good, but it's just too slow. Against
Mm-hmm.
Goblin, basically, you need to disrupt their early creatures as soon as
Uh-huh.
possible, their mana, and you have to keep pushing, like attacking with your manas. You need to do
Mm-hmm.
that because you need to close the game as soon as possible. If you don't do that, you they will end up playing ringleader, and it seems
Mm.
that goblins players always draw their like 24 lands. They play 24, and they always lands. So yeah,
Yeah, it
so
happens.
you need to
So,
you need to ensure that you put pressure as soon
mhm,
as possible, and then you need to and pyrokinesis helps you do that. Sharpening is just
okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, so that one, kind of didn't quite go to plan. So we head into week number 6, in which you were up, or week number 5, in which you were up against Rich Shea. You were on Stifle Knot, and he was on Parfait Oath. I think this was one of the most interesting matches that we got to see. Um, Take us through how this matchup goes, because it's really my experience with it. From when I was briefly playing Dreadnought, was like it seemed to be more about like when do you go for it, and how are you deciding what pieces they have. Rich's parfait list was kind of his more stock one, nothing really out of the ordinary. What did you think about this matchup as you're going through? Because I remember you playing it very, very well.
yeah. I mean, I said that before, but I love playing against Perfect when Rich is playing it because it's a challenge. Every game is different in some ways, and
Hmm.
he's really good with the deck. When I saw that he wasn't playing medley mages, I was like, yeah, I think I should be playing against his Perfect with Mono Blue Typhonaut, hopefully.
Hmm.
um, because in the past he did play Model Mage and it was like a pain. Not impossible, but it was somewhat more or less a pain.
Hmm.
We had a semifinals in the past in I don't know if Spring Fling or the other one, and
Yeah, I can't
we,
remember that one off the top of my
that
head.
was brutal. And he won 3-2, and
Hmm.
yeah, it could have been either way. Like uh,
Hmm.
one of us could have easily won it. Um, So, but I was confident when I saw his list. First game, basically, you need to from the stifle node perspective, you need to there are like two modes. You can either
Hmm.
try to steal game one, like playing a stifle node with some counters on stifle node by turn two, then
Hmm.
something like ace, foil, gash, whatever you have. Fingers crossed you get that. If that doesn't happen, you need to be patient and
Hmm.
build your hand and try to ensure that they don't get their engine online. Like they can have
Hmm.
land tags, but I don't mind about
Yep.
land tags. They cannot have a scroll rack.
Am I gonna get a welcome
That's,
home?
the-
Hmm.
that's the thing that get,
I
uh,
apologize for that,
no,
Rich
don't
or
worry.
Alvaro.
Teenagers, I will be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so basically, you need to uh, be patient again. You need to ensure that you have the means to protect the dreadnought because you only have if they already destroy one, you only have three.
Hmm.
Um, and in the meantime, you have to ensure that you don't get overwhelmed by their card advantage, and that means that you have to counter by any means scroll rack. That's a
Yep,
key
yep.
card.
Yeah,
Again, I was
that's
confident.
my experience.
I was confident about my list because I was playing four powder kegs, and that's
Mm.
really good against Perfect. You can destroy the monks, you can destroy Scroll Rack, you can destroy Metal Mages, you can destroy well whatever they have. Except enchantments, sadly.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
but anyway, I was confident and I was patient in the first game, and in the second game I was lucky because he was like one screwed, I think, and he
Mm.
kept a hand with the one undiscovered paradise, I think, or two.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, it shouldn't be that difficult this game.
Gotcha. Well, that was definitely something to watch. And then we went into week 6 where you were against Tom Metelsky, Welder Stacks versus Landstill. Um, that was a long series of games, I remember. Um, how is that matchup usual? Because you guys both played it really well. Um, yeah, what was kind of your thought there?
Yeah, I feel like Blue Red Tinker is favored against Landstill,
Hmm.
tied to. Um, and this is a match where I will have preferred to play regular mode because it's even more favored than Blue Red. Um,
Hmm.
Basically, from my side, it feels like your deck is built as a cyber deck against Landstill because you have too many
Hmm.
that they have to counter. Like you have Winter Earth, you have a Sphere of Resistance, you have
Hmm.
Well that
Hmm.
if it stays, it's basically makes any counter spells irrelevant. You can combo with a Welder in play. Um, you have Tangleware, you have Dashboard, you have Rishal and Port. Basically, you attack their mana sources that allows it to play.
Hmm.
And you basically don't play almost creatures. You almost don't play creatures. Like, yeah, Welder will probably eat Sword to Closures as soon as possible, but
Hmm.
they if you keep playing that and you can play, I don't know, Karn or something else, you
Hmm.
basically overwhelm them with things to counter. It's too much. That's worse when you play colorless map against Landstill for them because
Hmm.
you're gonna start with Black Vice turn one and that's it. You know, I mean, you know what Black Vice against Landstill, so
Yeah, I love when I get to do that. It
yeah.
makes me feel happy. But no, you did that, so you end up going into week 7 3-3. The conversion of who could top four versus what records would or would not was pretty close.
Yes.
Um, so going into kind of that week, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I
How
was.
are you feeling?
You know, I play in a month against Jeff White, and he was on Goblins, so I was pretty sure that he was going to be playing Goblins, and I wanted to play Stifler because I was like 0-2, 0-2
Hmm.
with the deck so far. So yeah, I was like, yeah, if he plays Replenish, that's fine for Stifle. I can just counter whatever comes, and that's it.
Hmm.
Uh, and then for Goblins, I was playing, I think, six hydroblast effects, four
Hmm.
hydroblast and two blue elemental blasts. So yeah, I should be
Hmm.
favored. Um, and if he was playing elves, yeah, I mean I think it's even, maybe a little bit better for him, but he wasn't playing Tangle War in his
Mm.
deck. So I
Okay.
was like, yeah, I should. I mean, I could play Ponza. Just in case he just plays elves and just I can just go over him and that's it.
Hmm.
Ponza versus Elves is basically a buy for Ponza. Um,
Yeah.
and
But
and I feel like I didn't want to lose against Goblins again on camera. So yeah, I was, yeah, okay, yeah, let's play Mono Blue Typhoon. And he was, of course, on Elves.
hmm.
Um, w- Game one, I had to fight my way to win that. It was a really good game. And then game
Hmm.
two, he just went over board with everything that elves do. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
And then game three, I think that was the only time I was salty in this tournament. I don't know if you saw that,
Hmm.
but basically I went with this impulse for four Annas. I was like, yeah, I won't be winning tonight.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that, but I've had that feeling when the impulse just comes up, just all blanks, and it's like I've broken a mirror somewhere.
Yeah,
I've done something. But because yeah, I get it. But so we kind of finish it out. Obviously, neither of us made the top four. You did much better than me. What were your after that last match was done and kind of you knew you were done from the event? What where did your thoughts kind of drift to as far as what were you thinking? Was it sadness? Was it like I should have done this more, or it was a great run, I had fun? Where were you kind of at once the ride was over?
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling. Of course, I was upset, not because Jeff won, but because of that like bad luck in the most important game of the tournament. Because
Hmm.
I needed to win that, and then I was on the top four. But when that end, I was like, yeah, at least I got to show my decks. I was able to play Ponza 2 twice, Blue Red Tinker twice, and Mono Blue Stifle Knight three times. So
Hmm.
I achieved what I wanted to do in the tournament.
Hmm.
Of course, I would have loved to be able to get into the top four. Um,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. It means I will have a Thursday free again. That's because
Yeah, no, I get that.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind, but like we have to make some changes with my wife to the times she's going to, I don't know, with her friends. She couldn't do anything on Thursday because I was playing. So yeah,
Hmm.
she was the most relief from this, I would
Yeah,
say.
I mean, I definitely understand that. Um, but one thing I got to mention that was really cool, and we kind of saw this last year, is you had such a awesome contingent of people who root for you. Not only from us who love you here, but like the South American contingent. Like it's a real thing. It's a very awesome base. How did it? Did you feel in any way like you were kind of representing that scene here? That you were trying to do something for that scene as a face for that scene at all, or um, any
Yeah,
thoughts on the scene in general? Because I love the look of it.
yeah. I feel like there's something about this format that allows you to feel more friendly against people you play regularly. Yeah, I don't know
Hmm.
if you know, but we have a webcam tournament monthly. This is
Yep.
a tournament we called it Chile Premier League. It
Hmm.
is a joke because I mean, yeah, in Chile we play football. I mean, the actual
Hmm.
football with your
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So we compare our league, our football tournament with the English one.
yeah. Hmm.
We say it's the Chile Premier League, and it's more or less a joke. We are meme,
Hmm.
something like that around that. And we wanted to transfer that to the webcam tournament because we're just like having fun and not taking it so seriously. And we have
Hmm.
been doing that for 1 year, a monthly tournament. We have around 30, 40 people, more or less,
Hmm.
each month. And thing is that many people from Argentina are playing that league with us.
Hmm.
So we got to meet them and get to know them. And we have been like, it's funny because it's, I don't know, imagine something like you start something in the US and then people from Canada starting joining your league, and then
Hmm.
you more or less are getting friends with them, like befriending them.
Nice.
It's
I
really
love it.
good.
I love it.
It's really good, and it was like, we have this big tournament in Buenos Aires in Argentina in August.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, the guys there, the people from Argentina, received the Chilean players in a really good way. Like they were
Okay.
amazing hosts for everyone.
Hmm.
Uh, so you feel like the community is getting together around the game. You
Hmm.
feel like the people are really friendly and like, I don't know. It's, I mean, when I don't know, when I win a tournament in Premodern, um,
Hmm.
my wife asked me what was the prize. When I won this monthly in last year, like in August, I was like, yeah, nothing. Like besides bragging rights, nothing. But at the same
Hmm.
time, when you think about it, you are making friends in the way. So
Yes, you are.
it feels really good because, yeah, you talk a lot with this guy and with the other team. I don't know. In
Hmm.
You don't only talk about pre-modern. You talk about different things, your life,
Hmm.
I don't know, kids, or whatever. Um, So it feels really really good to be part of this community. And when you see that, I mean, I'm one of the organizers of this tournament in Chile, a welcome tournament.
Hmm.
So people know me. So when I guess that when they saw my name in this PSS list, of course they felt compelled to say something nice about this. So
Yeah. Well, I think everything I heard said was genuine, and I couldn't disagree with anything I saw. So it
yeah,
was awesome to see you compete. It was awesome to play against you again and watch you play. I
I
always
say the same.
enjoy your company. Absolutely. So kind of a real quick apology to my last guest in Jared. You said I forgot to do my three questions. I'm feeling very sad about that. So I'm going to catch up with him. But Alvaro, if you've listened to me before, I usually do three questions. They
Hmm.
go something like this: what is the most overrated card in pre-modern? The most underrated card in pre-modern, and a card that needs to be broken. So why don't we, without putting you on the spot at all, not at all, what is the most overrated card in your opinion in pre-modern?
That's a difficult question because I feel like every card should have a space in the format.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I thought about it in the past, but yeah, Tom Medelski is going to kill me about it, but I feel like Pyrex and Rager. I'm
Ah,
coming from Popper, and I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
yeah, of course it's a choo-choo. You draw a life, you win, lose one life, draw one card,
Mm-hmm.
lose one life. I feel like spending 3 mana to cast that should not be good. Of course, it can be good in some situations. Of course, it helps you to develop your plan, basically blocking or trying to stabilize in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, yeah, but I don't know. I feel
So,
like, yeah, it's overrated. I'm not
okay.
saying it's bad. I feel like it got overhyped for some time. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
if people win with that, that's fine. But I feel like, yeah, not sure.
Okay. What is the most underrated card in your opinion in pre-modern?
Yeah, there's underrated. Mm, this I think that this is more difficult than the first one. Yeah, I feel like yeah. I'm going to talk about my experience in the previous months. I've been testing some builds of Pit Rack, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's one card that should be played more, not only Pit Rack and different decks. I feel like Mind Slicer. It's a card that should be played
Awesome.
in different decks. I love it when I play it in the Pit Rack build. I didn't continue playing it because I'm just focused on mod right now. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there should be something that could be built around it because um, it can come with this diabolic intention to find
Mm-hmm.
anything. It could be used with different reanimation spells at the same time, and it could be like, I mean, in Premodern you have only one instant discard spell, which is Funeral Charm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you can get instant speed discard with Mind Slicer in a 4/3
Mm-hmm.
body. So I feel like that's really good. But there's not right now. There's I don't know if the shell I work with is the right one, but I feel there's something there to be exploited in some decks. But I think haven't figured it.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about that too. Because is Mind Slicer a horror? I can't
What?
remember its creature type. Is its creature type horror?
Yeah, I think so.
HORROR?
I think so.
I
Let
had a
me.
deck I was building because you had mentioned, is Diabolical Intent the one where you sacrifice a creature to look for a card?
Yes.
I had a deck where I was like Mind Slicer on a turn, like Diabolic Intent to go find like Patriarchs bidding for like horrors because you get to play like Icarids and like
Yeah.
all that stuff. Um,
I mean,
so
you can search for with diabolic intent. You can search for a black vice and just deal 3 damage.
that too.
You
I love
can
that actually.
search for I don't know. Um, I mean, you can search for any bullet that you would like to play at that time. That could be
Okay.
I don't recurring nightmare, for instance.
hmm I love it. I
I don't
absolutely love it. What is a card that needs to be broken in pre-modern?
Bro. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. I feel like again, recurring nightmare should be broken.
hmm
It's just too good
Just
to
for
be
the
only
effect that
playing
it has.
in rock. It's a waste to be only playing in rock. It should be playing somewhere else.
I was using it in a Jund Goblin list.
Hmm.
I was just using it like recycle your ringleaders, recycle your
Yes,
siege gangs. So I'm in full agreement. There can't be a world where that card is just in the rock. Um,
exactly.
so yeah.
I I've been playing. I play one like stock leagues from Reanimator. I don't know why they don't play recurring nightmare. You can just sacrifice one token and then or imp and then just return
hmm
something. And that's it. And they keep doing it. If they destroy it, you can just keep doing it.
Absolutely.
It's recurring.
I'm in agreement. So it is recurring. So I'm looking forward to the next monthly, or we actually have the fall brawl coming up here. I think next month,
Yes, I think so.
October.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get to see some cool brews. But with that being said, Alvaro, is there anything before we kind of head out for the evening? If you want to talk about that, you feel like we missed any shout outs you want, any final thoughts on PSS?
No, yeah,
The floor
yes.
is yours.
Yeah, I would like to say thanks to Flint and Mike for organizing the PSS. I feel like in terms of production and like the way the tournament works, it's one of the most beautiful tournaments in the format by via
hmm
webcam. It's so well done, and it's at least for me, it's an amazing way of showcasing different decks and decks that are not that common. So I really appreciate that all the work that they put on that. So kudos for the team, and of course all the players in this season.
Absolutely. And I have to echo those sentiments. As said, Alvaro, it was always a pleasure to watch you play. For those of you who have caught the podcast and are interested in pre-modern, go ahead and look up PSS on the Cloud Goat Rangers channel. Great content there. The New York 1.5K just happened. Lenny Huang and Mike Flores kind of go into that. Misty Mountain Games has its fall cup coming up this next weekend. We got Euros coming up in a couple weeks, so there's so much more pre-modern to come. So if you're looking to get into the format, you can find it.
And also in Chile we have a big tournament this Sunday
Ooh,
this weekend.
what do we got?
Yeah, there is a series of tournament, one monthly,
hmm
starting August, and then there will be a top 16 on December
Nice.
from all the
Okay.
finalists of the each monthly, and then you get to classify. I mean, to reach the top 16 by earning
hmm
points or something like that. But anyway, it's a big one this Sunday, and next one is going to be October, then November, and then the final one on December. So that's going to happen in Santiago.
I love it. I love it. And you guys, I can't remember who was doing it down there. There's also a pre-modern podcast, Spanish speaking. Who does that? Do you
Yes,
happen to know? I cannot remember their name. They just did it
the,
with Damien.
yes. I mean, there are different one in Spanish. There's one in
Oh,
Spain, in
okay,
actual
okay.
Spain.
Oh, in actual Spain. Okay.
Yes.
Isn't there a South American one? I'm thinking. What am I thinking of? Thought there was something.
Because
I'm probably confusing the two. So that's my
yeah, yeah.
apologies.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. But they're different ones, and they're really good too. So worth
Awesome,
listening.
awesome, awesome. So yeah, guys, find Premodern. You can find it, Alvaro. It's been a pleasure to speak with you tonight. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll be back with more retrospectives and more Premodern soon. And with that, guys, take care and have a wonderful evening.